People. Que pasa, sac, passe, what they do. Now, the first thing that is popping in the news is that we see that the chairman of the P0L Federation, we are speaking about a person whose name is Sergeant P0L. He is urging the P0L to defend themselves by all means necessary, and he is speaking against motorists that are using their vehicles as a WEAPON against the P0L and also the public. So in other words, he is sending out a very strong message. He is sending out a WARNING to the P0L that whenever they are on the job and they are stopping any taximan, rete, lele, blue, blah, bling, they are supposed to take evasive action whenever they feel like their lives is in jeopardy. So people, code name, we're going to see a lot of more people getting slapped away by the P0L. Point blank and period, and some of them are going to be justified and some of them are going to be unjust. We have to be prepared for that. Now his comments or statement are pertaining to three separate incidents in which we are speaking about. First one 2 weeks ago, in which a taximan basically ran over a P0L we are speaking about in New Kingston, and then the taximan take away himself and ditch the car, and he is now on the run, and the P0L was sent to the place of recovery. So people, first incident, we see that he is telling the truth. We are speaking about the chairman of the P0L Federation. He is telling the truth because the truth and the facts that the taximan basically ran over or mowed down the P0L point blank and period. The second incident is a more controversial incident, and people, this incident took place on Spanish Town Road or off Spanish Town Road, close to Coronation Market, in which the eyewitness is saying one thing and the P0L is saying something different. So people, we see that we are hearing polar opposite accounts from the person that was in the taxi driver cab and also from the P0L. So people, in this case, I would say that it is controversial because the truth and the fact that if you are wrong, you're wrong. If you are the P0L and you basically slap away somebody unjust, you're supposed to be paying for your crimes. Now, in the third incident, and according to a female traffic P0L, she said that she was MOWE down by a motor vehicle person that basically ran her over without any justification. So people, the moral of the story is that a lot of these drivers in Jamaica, and especially these minibus drivers and especially these taximen, they are very reckless on the road and they have no regards for life or even rules, regulation, rete, lele, blue, blah, bling. So we see that they are disgusting. Most of them, and people, I am just speaking in general. So people, the point that I am trying to make is that as the chairman of the P0L Federation, I am speaking about Mr. P0L. He has to be very careful and responsible with his statements and words, because we see about a week ago, a taximan got slapped away, and based on the court of public opinion, most persons are saying that it was unjust, point blank and period. So people, the gist of the message that Mr. Rowe is sending to the P0L, he is telling them that they should use the force continuum and they are supposed to use as much force as possible to prevent the loss of life of the P0L and the public. And people, we see in that way it sounds like something good, because the truth and the fact, like I say, a lot of these persons, a lot of these motorists on the roads of Jamaica, they are very reckless and they are lawless, and they will basically take out persons and basically fled the scene. So as it pertains to the taximan, Mr. Rowe is talking the truth, because we saw an incident maybe less than 2 months ago in which a taximan mowed down a couple of people off Agley Park Road. We are speaking about by the transport center, and people, those taximen also took away themselves, and the P0L had to put out all sorts of warrant and rete and lele before they finally surrendered. So people, the moral of the story is this: Jamaica is reckless, point blank and period. So anyways, people, I am just trying to say, as it pertains to Mr. Rowe, he has to be very careful when he puts out controversial stuff out there, especially as it pertains to that incident downtown we are speaking about less than a week ago, where the P0L was basically taking out the taximan. And people, we also see, as it pertains to Mr. Rowe, he has also made some very controversial statements or comments as it pertains to income. where he was claiming that Indicom is stopping the POPO from doing their job efficiently. However, if we check the facts as it pertains to Indicom, we see that since the implementation of Indicom, we saw that there has been less POPO, KILLING, of innocent persons. We are speaking specifically about ghetto people. So people, we see that Indicom is doing their job, and we also expect the POPO to do their job. So anyways, people, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up. Now, before I move to the next part of my video, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. One word. Don't put no space between the words. Jamaica Dancehall Source. Now, the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that the St. Elizabeth POPO is investigating the slap away of a 34-year-old garbage collector, and his name is Fabian Johnson. So based on what the POPO report is saying, there was a little dispute between Mr. Johnson and also an 18-year-old man at a wake in Lacovia we are speaking about in St. Elizabeth yesterday. And after that wake, Mr. Johnson was found down the road, and he was basically clutching to his LIFE, and he was taken to the place of recovery. However, he did not make it. Now, people, it seems like when it pertains to Jamaican, they are dark. And I am not speaking about their melanin. I am not speaking about the anti-bleaching type. I am speaking about their reasoning ability. They are not problem solvers. And people, I am just speaking in general. I am speaking specifically about the bad apples. So it seems like they have no reasoning ability. And any and everything, the first thing is to resort to LENCE. Them always have to run go for them tool or a machete, rete, lele, blue, blah, bling. And this is based on what I have seen with these new millennials, and I am speaking about in the past decade or so. It seems like everything them run go for the tool. It seems like everything them want to end some sort of life. It seems like them can't talk. It seems like persons' egos are too big. It seems like persons' ego are too fragile. So in other words, it seems like if them have the slightest inclination that them get this, the first thing what they want to do is slap away the next person. People, that makes absolutely no sense. Point blank and period. And what makes the situation even worse is the fact that it occurred at a wake. Now, people, when we talk about a wake, that means that it is a friend that somebody knows. We are speaking about maybe both men. I am speaking about the 34-year-old, and I am also talking about the little juvenile. So people, we would have thought that somebody would have some sort of respect. We would have thought that basically they are trying to send up this person in peace. We are talking about RIP. However, somebody, we are speaking about, one of them thought that it would be a very good idea to basically take with the next one, LIFE, or slap him away. So people, we are speaking about some disgusting deeds that are done by Jamaican and our next Jamaican on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. And we are speaking about a new generation of things that we see that shows that we have plummeted. We are speaking about our morals and also our ethics. And if we remember, we saw the same thing occurred as it pertains to the reggae girl. We are speaking about Tarania Plum Clark, in which some man thought it was a very good idea to basically beat some can at the people, FUNERAL. So people, we are speaking about a set of Jamaicans that their mentality is very low. We are speaking about in the basement. We are talking about under the cellar. We are talking about down where the devil there. We are talking about hell. Everything seems like it gone to HELL, point blank and period. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that the Ministry of Health, and specifically the government of Jamaica, has heed to the warning of the World Health Organization about the seriousness of this coronavirus. And people, it seems like the government have finally put down their foot as it pertains to the Chinese, because based on information and report, it is said a plane with 19 Chinese were turned back. They were denied at the airport and they were sent back to China. Now, people, this is something that we don't usually see the government of Jamaica do as it pertains to the Chinese, because it seems like they always have a green light. They always have a free-for-all. There is always an exception to the rule as it pertains to the Chinese, because, people, we see that they are invested in Jamaica. We see that they are building all sorts of infrastructure, retail, lele, blue, blah, bling. However, in this case, it seems like the government of Jamaica gets some spine, them get some backbone, them finally grow some B-A-L-L-S, and them put on them foot, and they are saying, they are making the Chinese know, say, listen, this is too serious. So even if you are investing billions or gazillions of dollars in a Jamaica, it is not worth the risk of 2 million plus Jamaicans for 19 Chinese. So, people, it seems like the government of Jamaica, and specifically the Ministry of Health, they weigh the option, they weigh the pros and the cons, and they see that it was not a good trade for basically 19 Chinese for basically violate the life or put the lives of excess of 2 million Jamaicans in jeopardy. So, people, that is a good thing, point blank and period. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine, but let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.